everybody, welcome in this video. I'm super excited to have this guest today for you. My teacher, Dr. Joseph Schmidlin, who taught me the tuning forks. And I was very happy to have him today to talk about sound healing, to give you a small introduction about that practice, because Joseph has a huge experience. Hi, Joseph.
Hi, Morgan.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
So maybe perhaps you could introduce a little bit sound healing, how this practice was born, and what is it exactly that we call sound healing?
Yeah, big question. So how it was born, I feel like sound healing is innate to humans. So all the original people, original tribes and communities use sound and use voice and dance and creative expression for healing. So that I think that really stems from the beginning of time, and it's really about community and listening to each other and hearing each other's needs and then responding in a natural way, which would be to help each other, which helps the whole community.
Wonderful. And for you, what is your background? How did you meet this practice?
Okay, so I came into the healthcare field as an osteopathe. So a hands-on medicine. We work with natural medicine. We work with structure and function and helping restore the function of the body by correcting the structure. So this boils down to listening to the body to understand what is off in the structure, where the restrictions are, and then how osteopathy is a tool of how to deal with that. So the sound work came to me later, after about 15 years working as a body worker. I started working with tuning forks, and I started working with Dr. John Bellew, and he as well worked with a lot of the osteopaths back in his day. He's about 15 years older than me, and he combined osteopathy and sound healing and psychotherapy and all the healing practices really together, which is exactly what I was studying in my field and practicing and incorporating, the psychology with the body, with the sound, with the music. And so all of that just really came together for me, and I found the sound work helped the body to actually come back into its restorative healing functions, the same way that in body work we would remove restrictions and the body would come into its normalizing restorative function. So that's really how it worked for me, and to me I don't see the sound work and the body work as different at all. It's both listening practices, and it's both governed by the body's inner healer and the body's inner physician.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. So you are using mainly tuning forks, but also the gong, right?
I mainly use all sound instruments, and I feel like we actually are the instrument. So the tuning forks, the gongs, the singing bowls, the stringed instruments are all really an extension of our instrument, and we're using our hands and our listening ear to know how to deliver the sound, how to play, use our skillful means in playing the sound. But really our body is the instrument, and the number one sound that we can actually offer is our voice. So whether it's the voicing of our instrument or it's our actual speaking voice or singing voice or toning voice. And I can say a lot about the voice, because the embodied voice to me is health and healing. So no matter how we present it to the world, it's through our speech. We're a vibrating voice. Even if we're just walking through the world, we're vocalizing. Our energy field is transmitting and communicating all the time.
So what would be your recommendation for people who would like to discover this practice? Should they start by also practicing themselves? Should they also start by finding sun bath to experiment? What would be your approach?
Yeah, I think definitely connecting with the community and experiencing the work as a receiver. You know, whether you go to a private session with a sound healer or body worker, or if you go to community sound baths is a great way, and connecting with the community and seeing if it's right for you and if it speaks to you. Really, it's all about following your own vibration, your own heart, your own path. So not everything is for everyone, but a lot of people these days I notice are really resonating to this field. Then after exploring it that way and you get a definite yes in your body, then I think the first practice is toning. I think it's start to hum every day. When you wake up every morning, start a toning practice. Start connecting with your own inner resonance. And not necessarily to sing outward, but to sing inward.
So it would be something like just connecting.
The practice I give all my students in the beginning is really spend 5 to 10 minutes in the morning or sometime in the day and just tone and find a tone. That's the one, because it just comes out. Or it could be whatever tone comes out of you, just practice that tone. And I even tell people, set your clock timer for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever time you can, and stay on that tone just for that period of time. And then afterwards, see how you feel. See how it affects your body, how it affects your mind. See how your day goes after that. Be your own experimenter. Try it for a week and see. And then it's usually a practice people do for a long, long time. I'm still doing it today. It's been almost 15 years since I started, and I work with guitar and shruti box and harmonium and different instruments and tone and actually study Indian music also is part of my path. But even just the toning is really enough to restore your own body's inner healer, inner capacity to heal itself.
Nice. And maybe a question that is popping into my head now, but for example, I met some people, they're not super sensitive to gong, but they like crystal, and likewise some other people, they are not sensitive to crystal, but they prefer gong. What is it? What does it mean exactly? Is there a path that we are going on to discover those instruments again and again, or is it natural that some people feel a draw to some instrument or not?
Yeah, I really wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I think that would be an inner discovery. Each person would have to investigate that for themselves, and it's really curious to know what. We definitely all started with rhythm. In the womb, we were listening to the mother's heartbeat even before we developed our own heart. So we've been pretty much surrounded by a pulse the whole time. And then I think it's just tendencies. Maybe someone would go more towards crystal and someone more towards the gong, or someone more towards harmonic instruments, someone more towards maybe with like a little bit of dissonance. I think that's very individual and part of the healing process, and it would be interesting to investigate that.
Maybe someday then.
Yeah, but also if you like the gong today, it doesn't mean in 10 years you might really like the crystal more. So we're always changing and adapting and bringing in whatever we need. And again, the resonance in the heart will take you, it's entrainment. It will take you to the resonance of where you need to go, and then you'll entrain to that. And then possibly you'll grow through that and move on to something else.
Thank you so much, Joseph.
Yeah,
so,
my pleasure.
Yeah, it was a great introduction. I'm very happy to have Joseph talking about this magnificent subject, and I'm really happy to introduce you to more sound healing subjects and, of course, practices. So I'll see you guys very soon. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya. Namaste.